page 82, would you believe it? And yesterday on page 81, Captain Clifford was going on about his plans for the village of equals and how they must be wary of any native inhabitants, indigenous peoples of the island. Here we go. In consequence of this, I propose to ask Colonel Hatchett to organise the air crew and younger men among you, younger men, not the older men, not you old fellas, into a 2-hour guard in pairs throughout the night. Bloody hell. I will also ask for some of you to help our 2 air hostesses to move the patients in their first aid post back into the cabin for the night. Fair enough. The rest of you will find it cooler to sleep in the shelters which you've built yourselves in the shade of the coconut palms. Start building. And I have sufficient mosquito netting to supply you all. Well, that's handy. I must ask you, however, to be ready and prepared to transfer yourselves quickly and calmly back into the cabin should there be a sudden alarm given by the guard that native canoes have been seen approaching from the sea. It's canoes. Everybody hide. Canoes. Although I hasten to remind you that it will not necessarily mean that it will be a hostile visit. Now, are there any questions, please, on any subject? Yes. How did you become a captain? Yes, there is one from me, cried Royce Maynard. That was the mega famous author, wasn't it? Is there anything that we shall do to attempt to limit the length of our stay on this island? Plot-wise, that's a very good question, Royce Maynard. Yes, 2 things, answered Captain Clifford. The first is that as soon as our village is finished and we've settled down to a normal routine, we shall start to build a tall skeleton aerial of tree trunks to give Jim Stanmore a greater range with his battery-powered radio signals. If he is able to get the flight deck wireless equipment back into service again. And the second, well, I've been thinking around the Kon-Tiki expedition. You didn't see that coming, did you? I certainly didn't. You mean build a raft and put out to sea on it? Captain Clifford nodded. I feel that if 6 gallant Norwegians, he said, could drift upon the Kon-Tiki raft across the Pacific Ocean from Peru to the Tuamotu Islands, then we, too, could build and launch well-provisioned rafts which, helped by the